Hey guys, come on in here. We are going to talk about why the DMs still work. And one, I don't need to prove it to you, but if you look at Instagram's new layout, what do they have primary now? In their new layout at the bottom, what is Instagram's new layout? It's the DMs, right? They want you to go to the DMs. They want you to spark up conversation. They want you interacting with people on the platform. So we're going to talk about this because I want to talk about 3 types of DM strategy that you want to use to get more clients, to grow your business, to scale. Hey guys that are hopping in, that are hopping on. Let me go get my coffee. Hold on one second. Okay. Hey guys. What's up? I see King of Castle. Hey, I see Keisha. Robert. Hey, Robert. Only one Misha. Okay, so we're going to talk about these DMs. Let me make sure nothing fell on my coffee. Okay. So first of all, do you guys use DMs to prospect? Type it in the chat. If you're catching this in a replay, go ahead and let me know. Do you use DMs? Have you gotten a client from the DMs? Have you booked an appointment from the DMs? Let's talk. So, let me pull up my little note sheet here because I wrote down exactly what I'm going to talk about. All right. Just Positive Passages says yes. Okay. You got clients from the DM? Okay, cool. Okay, so here's what you need to know. Instagram has a new feature or a new layout that they put the DMs in the middle. Before, the reel posting sign was in the middle, or the Reels tab. So if you clicked on the middle icon, you went straight to all of your Reels Explore page, right? Where you can just swipe like TikTok and see a lot of videos, right? So what they do is they prioritize what they want you to do based upon how they lay out the screen. So as you can see, Instagram is prioritizing conversations. Let me say that again. Instagram is prioritizing conversations. The middle button now, I don't know. You guys let me know, is your app updated like that? Because on my app, the middle button goes straight to the DMs. Type a 1 in the chat if you know your middle button goes straight to the DMs. It opens up your DMs. So I know. Because sometimes Instagram rolls out features for some of the users and not all of the users. Okay, hey Donna. Hey Jericho Bookkeeping. Tanish, hey guys. Okay, so you guys, your middle button is the DMs, right? So there are 3 different types of DM strategy that I want you guys to take a note of, okay? Number 1 is your cold outreach. This is where you hashtag your client's niche and you find the Explore page for all of your client niches. So let me see if I can go on Instagram on my computer so I can show you. So you're going to hashtag your ideal client niche. What niche is your ideal client using right now to promote their business? Now, some people are saying, their niche client is not on Instagram. They are. Doctors are on Instagram. Lawyers are on Instagram. Construction companies, manufacturing, cannabis, restaurants, e-commerce, they're all on social media, right? So you type in the most notable hashtag for your ideal client. So for example, I'm going to type in hashtag e-commerce into Instagram. E-commerce. Let me show you. All right, let's look at this together. So e-commerce, if I can spell correctly. Look at that. 19.5 million people post e-commerce or hashtag e-commerce. 2 million say e-commerce business. Let's look at e-commerce business first and see who comes up. Okay, so these are all of my ideal clients, right? If I want to reach after or go after e-commerce business owners for tax planning and CFO services, these are my ideal clients. So she says, I don't know this lady, she says it's Becoming Chanel. Hey, Chanel. It says my first webinar launch brought in $51,000 in 1 week. Okay, that's my type of client. Listen, I want to know if my client is making money right now. All right, so I'm going to click on Chanel's page. And then I'm going to engage with her content to see what type of e-commerce is she into. So she's in the hair, right, and extensions. She has a pretty nice sizable following here, 52,000. And she has her information. So boom, we're going to slide in her DM. So this is one of the strategies that I'm doing currently with attracting new clients. I am finding them by the niche that they use, that they're actually hashtagging: e-commerce, cannabis, restaurants. And you go to each one of those businesses that are hashtagging and you slide in their DMs. Now, here's a little hack that I found out. And I accidentally stumbled upon this. I think, and this is my theory, but I want you guys to let me know what do you think about it. I think the fact that I pay for the Meta check mark, right? That blue check mark that you could pay, it's like $14, $15 a month. I believe that makes my DMs go straight to the top of people's inbox. I believe it goes straight to the top of their inbox, and also it doesn't get filtered out to the what's that other box? The other box, right? So I would say if you really want to get serious about using the DM strategy, in my opinion, right? I could be wrong, but in my opinion, I think it's worthwhile to pay Instagram to become a verified user, so that when you do message people, you are more likely to show up in their inbox because you are already a verified user, right? Yeah, you guys are agreeing with me. Absolutely. So what I typically try to do is I try to message at least 10 ideal clients per day, right? So no matter what hashtag I'm using, I'm finding them all. I'm going through their pages. I'm engaging with some of their content because it does help when you like a few of their posts, right? Typically you want to like at least 3 posts, and then you send them your message. 10 per day. 10 per day. This is your goal. This is your KPI. So if you do this 5 days a week, that's 50 messages to your ideal clients that you will send out every single week. If you do this over 30 days or a month, that is 200 messages that you would have sent out personally to your ideal clients. Now, do you think you might have a 2%, 3%, 5% conversion rate? Do you think you can get maybe 1 to 5 people to book a call with you out of 200 messages that you sent for the month? Yes, absolutely. So 1, prioritize linking with your ideal clients, okay? Just Positive said, I would agree with that. Donna said, that's true because I don't have the blue check mark and it flags my messages as spam. Okay, yeah. I'm surprised. I told some of my CFO and tax planning clients, it was probably like a week or 2 ago. So I told them that we need to start messaging, real like celebrities and stuff, like people who we would love to work with, right? And not thinking that anybody is too big for us, right? And so I was telling them that I recently messaged a celebrity who I love. I would love to be their CFO and tax planning strategist. And I was just like, forget it. I'm just going to send them a DM, right? I was literally up at like 3 a.m. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to message her, right? So I sent her a DM. And, I was telling her how, some ideas on what I feel could benefit in her business. And guess what? She responded to me in less than, I would say, 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours. So, and I was shocked. I was asleep. I remember rolling over, looking at my phone, and I saw the notification that she responded, and I was like, what? Because I wouldn't have thought that, she would even see my DM. But I believe because I am the blue check mark, I paid for that. Listen, I ain't no celebrity. I paid for the verification, okay? So as soon as Instagram rolled that out, I was like, yep, sign me up. Oh, and by the way, people were, there were some people that were creating fake pages and trying to scam people using my name, right? So that was another incentive on why I got the blue check mark. But she ended up responding, and I believe that she saw my message. She responded to my message because that blue check mark psychologically looks like I'm important. It looks like I'm important, right? Okay, so what's number one? Strategy number one is DMing your ideal clients using the hashtags that they are using to find them on Instagram and then sending them an outreach message. And you want to do at least 10 per day. That's 50 per week. That's 200 per month. How many is that over a course of a year? How many is that over a course of a year? Clearly, I want to do math in my head. $200 times 12, that's 2,400 messages in a year. Thank you, Donna. See, Donna, you good. Okay. What questions do you guys have about that strategy? Well, that's just one of 3 of how I want you to use your DMs. It's just one of 3, okay? Now, DM strategy number 2. I need you to start nurturing the people who follow you. Some of you guys got 2,000, 5,000, 6,000, 10,000 plus people that follow you. I know some people are like, oh, well, I only got 3,000 people that follow me. Or I only got 1,500 people that follow me. Listen, if you had 1,500 people try to squeeze in your house, try to squeeze in your living room, it couldn't happen. So every person that follows you is willfully signing up to see your content, willfully signing up to be engaged with you. So you need to go through your contacts and start being intentional about nurturing the people that already follow you. And this is something that I haven't been doing, but I'm going to start doing, right? Because there's a good 5 to 10% of the people that follow me that need my services and want my services, right? So what does that look like? How can we nurture the people that already follow us by and using the DMs? Which, by the way, if you're just joining this, we're talking about how Instagram has now prioritized DMs because they put it into the middle of their layout. That means they want you to spark more conversations on the platform. Okay? So here's one thing. Checking in on them on how business is going. So if you see that they are winning in business, if they're doing any new launches, just simply sliding in their DMs and congratulating them, asking them how business is going. Keep it neutral, keep it positive. Don't pitch your services. You simply just want to nurture them as a follower, and you want to start building up rapport with the people that follow you. Okay? A second thing that you can do is send them valuable content that you think they will like. So if you follow, let's say, my e-commerce business, and you notice that there's some sales tax strategy or a new AI platform that just launched that makes sales tax easier, we'll send it to them. Be like, hey Donna, I saw this and I thought about you. That's simple. That's you nurturing the relationship, right? Hey Jeremy, I saw this and I thought about you. Now, what does that do to you psychologically, right? If I send you something of value in your DMs and I say, hey Jeremy, I thought about you. I thought this would be helpful. What does that do to you psychologically for you and our potential relationship together, right? It's nurturing our relationship. It's deepening the possible relationship that we could have potentially with business, right? That's number 2. Number 3, ask them about their family, right? Just simply check in with them. If you see that their kid just had a birthday, if you see that they just took a trip, engage with them in the DMs. Instagram is prioritizing DMs. Engage with them in their DMs. Okay? Now, number 3. This is the third DM strategy. But what questions do you guys have so far? Let me know. What questions? Before we move on to number 3. And let me know, how are you guys currently using the DMs? Hey, Donna. So Donna said it's good. Okay. All right. So number 3 is partnerships. So I was talking to some of my CFO and tax planning students, and I was telling them a lot of my CFO clients for the past year has come from strategic partnerships. What does that mean? This means that there are other professionals in the industry who are complementary. They sell complementary services to my own, right? So for example, I'm partnered with an insurance broker. I'm partnered with a trust advisor. I'm partnered with a wealth advisor, right? And their clients need CFO and tax planning strategies, and my clients need wealth advisory services, insurance services, right? I just had a call with a M&A broker. You know, he strategically buys and sells businesses. Well, a lot of his clients that buy and sell businesses throughout the year, they need CFO services. They need tax planning. So I make it a goal to strategically reach out to people who I can partner with, right? Write that down. Reach out to strategic partnerships. These are people who do not sell the same services that you sell. They are complementary, right? Now, when I did this, it was really unintentional. And I'll tell you why it was unintentional. A lot of my CFO and tax planning clients, you know, by me being their CFO, I'm naturally going to be the liaison for all of their third-party vendors, right? So a part of my services is I'm looking at, you know, how much are they spending in insurance? And can we source the insurance at a cheaper rate? How much are they paying their vendors? And can we renegotiate the terms of their vendors? I'm looking to see where I can save my client money. And when I do that, I have to be the one to actually reach out to the insurance provider, to reach out to the banker, to reach out to the real estate agent or the real estate broker, and I'm renegotiating their contracts. Excuse me. So I'm renegotiating their contracts. And by way of me doing that, and when you do good business with people, you're able to build up reciprocity, right? Because, for example, I just had a call with the SBA rep. My client is looking to purchase a company at about $1 million, $1.5 million, right? $1.5 million. And so we're looking to source and see if the SBA loan is going to make sense for him. And just by way of me being on the call and being connected with this SBA rep, for this client, this is now a resource that I can also use, and this is now a potential partner that I now have, right? If I cultivate this relationship, because I can send him more clients that are looking for SBA loans. And guess what? He can send me more clients that are looking to buy or sell businesses that need help with the due diligence, something that I do as a part of my CFO services. So what I want you to do, whatever industry that you're going after, there is at least 5 to 10 types of potential partners that you can strategically link with that will be a constant referral source for you for business. So I want you to write them down, right? Insurance brokers, wealth advisors, trust advisors, real estate agents, real estate brokers, M&A brokers, right? And then you can keep going down the list based upon your particular client's industry. There are very specific service providers who assist them. So all you have to think about is, what service providers assist my ideal client? Who is my ideal client going to for services? And that's who you want to list down, and you want to start to strategically reach out to those people. Now, you do it the same way that we talked about with regards to how do we reach out to ideal clients. And I showed you the hashtag strategy for Instagram. You're going to do it the exact same way to find your insurance brokers, right? You're going to hashtag insurance broker. You're going to do it the same way to find your wealth advisor. Hashtag wealth advisor. I guarantee you it's going to be a list of wealth advisors that show up, of insurance brokers that show up. And you strategically start to reach out to them and offer them a coffee chat. So this is what I say. Whenever you reach out to, especially a potential partner, you always want to lead with what's in it for them. What is the value that they get? So for example, when I booked a call with one of the M&A brokers that I was recently connected with, I told him, I was like, hey, I have clients that are looking to buy a business, and I want to understand like who's your ideal client, right? Do you have like a particular dollar amount that you only work with certain people with? Do you have a particular fee structure that, I can know about? And I was letting them know, here's the type of clients that I serve, and here's the type of businesses that they're looking to purchase, and the amount of money that they're willing to spend. And sending that out to M&A brokers and putting the value towards them to say, hey, I'm looking to see what type of clients do you accept, because I have clients that are looking to buy and sell. I've been able to get and book phone calls with a bunch of M&A brokers, right? And I do the same thing for insurance. I do the same thing with wealth advisors. When you position the value on what's in it for them and not what's in it for yourself, you're able to start making strategic connections with people who you are genuinely going to partner with, right? I have clients that I need assistance with, right? I have clients that are always looking for better insurance rates. So I'm always trying to link up with, insurance brokers and people that can shop different terms and rates for me and my clients. I'm always looking for wealth advisors, financial advisors who can assist with navigating my clients and helping them grow their wealth strategically while I plan on the tax side, on the tax planning side. So you want to go into your DM strategy this year thinking about, what is the value that I want to give? Who do I want to give it to? And the third component is just staying consistent, right? Because what happens, and this is typically what, I'm not saying I'm perfect at this either, because I do fall off sometimes as well. But what typically happens is that you start an activity, especially marketing, you start getting some traction, right? You start booking some strategy sessions, some phone calls, and then you stop your marketing, right? So you end up on this ebb and flow. You end up on this roller coaster ride where you're getting strategy sessions, you're booking calls, you're getting clients, and then you're so busy doing the work now that you stop your marketing. So what I need you to commit to is that if you do the DM strategy this year, stay committed, right? Make sure you send at least 10 messages. And you can have your 10 messages spread out amongst these 3 categories that we spoke about tonight, right? Make a third of them cold outreach, just ideal clients that you would love to have as a CFO client or tax planning client, or even tax prep or bookkeeping, if those are the services that you want to primarily sell. Number 2, a third of them should be you nurturing the people that already follow you, right? Congratulating them on their business or life events, sending them valuable information as you come across it. And number 3, strategically partnering with partners who sell complementary services to you. So a third, 10 messages per day. That's, what do we say? 50 messages per week, 200 messages per month, 2,400 messages per year. I think, and I know that you will close at least 5 to 10% of those folks as a partner and or as a client. So we have to get with the algorithm. And I think for me, I would say I kind of battled that. Like, I never really paid attention to the algorithm. But you have to pay attention to how these social media platforms are changing to keep people's attention. For example, I recently posted a video on Instagram, and it was like 4 minutes and 22 seconds. And Instagram gave me a warning before I hit submit. It said, your video was longer than 3 minutes long. We will not push this video out to new followers, right? To anybody that's not following me. They're going to limit my engagement if I post a video that's over 3 minutes long. And so at first I didn't care. I'm like, okay, I don't care. But then I saw the engagement and I saw nobody was viewing my videos, and I'm like, okay, Instagram. So I need to oblige by the algorithm. I need to oblige by the rules of these platforms if I want to reach more people, reach new people with my content. So I'm saying that to say, you know, we have to get really great at pivoting with social media. If short form content is where it's at, we need to get good at short form content, right? If going live now is where it's at, well, listen, you got to get with the algorithm and you got to go live. So if you want to be able to reach new people, reach your ideal prospects, we have to start paying attention to the algorithm and to the layout of the platform, which is why I'm doing this live video, because now in the middle of Instagram, you have the DM button. This is what they want to optimize for conversations on the platform. Okay, so what questions do you guys have? Hey guys, what questions? Think me about anything. Listen, what time is it on the East Coast? It's 9:23. It's kind of late. Well, if you're watching this in a replay, go ahead and just comment your questions below in the replay. Donna says, is this the same concept with Facebook? Hey, Donna. You know what? Interestingly enough, Donna, man, so I'm going to be honest. It is really hard for me to keep up with the nuances of every platform. And I would say it probably is the same, but that would just be me taking a guess, only because Meta owns Instagram and they're probably trying to optimize for something similar. And so I would say it's probably similar, because I do see WhatsApp as a like top shareable tool now. Like they're optimizing for you to have conversations within their applications, and WhatsApp is a part of that. So I would say it's probably similar. But what I also would say is I've also been on TikTok more. So I've been trying to figure out TikTok and, you know, the algorithm for TikTok and what are they prioritizing and, you know, how to catch attention. TikTok is a whole different animal, in my opinion. It's a whole different animal, right? Like, they're into these like signature series stories, right? These story times, you know? And I done got caught in a few story times where I'm like binge watching, you know, people's story times. TikTok is very short and punchy, right? They get straight to the point in the first 3 seconds of the video. I would say TikTok is more controversial, right? So they're saying, and they're leading with more controversy, right? They're trying to get attention really fast. So they're trying to hook you. Listen, let me tell you, I watched a story about, she said something to the effect of, my baby daddy is trying to get full custody of our kid, and I'm going to let him. That was the first 3 things she said out of her mouth, or the first 3 seconds that she said out of her mouth. Obviously, that's pretty controversial, and that's like a hook. My baby daddy is trying to get full custody of our kid, and I'm going to let him. Boom, you stop. You're like, whoa, what are you doing, right? So I'm stopping, and now I'm listening to the whole story It's like a 3-minute TikTok video. And guess what? At the end of the video, she's talking about a cat. I'm like, this lady done wasted my time. She's talking about a cat. So, but I would say the what I want to call it, the template of what she did. She hooked you with something controversial. She hooked you in the first 3 seconds of what she said, and she proceeded to tell a very compelling and captivating story until she got to the end. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that for tax and finance, which is kind of hard, you know. Health, wealth, relationships is really popular on TikTok. Relationship problems, super popular on TikTok. So I'm trying to figure out myself, like, how can I leverage the algorithm to tax and finance, right? How can I create these punchy hooks, these captivating stories? So I'm still trying to figure it out, but I do notice that it's a completely different animal. And so what you would see, you're going to see me post. I'm going to post something, and I'm going to see what it does and what feedback I get from it. And if it don't get feedback and if it don't hit, then I'm going to archive it. I'm going to delete it. I don't care, because I'm testing out. I'm trying to see what works. I'm trying to see what people are gravitating towards. I'm trying to find my footing about myself. And the only way to do that is to keep trying, is to keep putting out content. Now, some people will say, well, Christy, you shouldn't archive, you shouldn't delete it. Well, that's my prerogative, right? But the point is, I'm still trying. I'm still putting myself out there. I'm still trying to figure out that sweet spot on the algorithm. And I know when I find it, it's going to hit. It's going to blow up. So it's a constant practice. It's a constant repetition. Hey guys that are hopping in. I know it's a crazy story, right? So I would say, man, so going back to your question, Donna, Facebook. Facebook used to be really, really good for me, you know? It's been very hard to try to keep up with so many different platforms, and the way in which each platform has been evolving. It's been really hard for me. But I would say, if you do something on Instagram, you want to try to duplicate it on Facebook, and also try to do it on TikTok. Now, let me tell you, I DM several people on TikTok, and I have like 1,000 followers on TikTok. And I don't have any, checkbox or anything, or whatever their equivalent of being verified is on TikTok. But 90% of the people who I DM'd for partnerships responded back to me within a day. So I would even probably say it might be even easier to use the DM strategy on TikTok, but don't negate Instagram. You have to do both of them. Facebook, still go for it if you have time. But at least Instagram and TikTok, I would say those are the two platforms that I'm going to be prioritizing this year, right? Hey guys that are hopping in. Hey guys. So yeah, so let's talk about what content attracts you, right? Because typically, the content that you're attracted to is the content that you should create, as far as the template of it, the format of it. So when you're scrolling through TikTok and you're scrolling through Reels or Shorts, what's catching your attention? What's catching your attention? What's sparking your interest when you're scrolling on social media? Because what you can learn and what you can find is that all of this is a repeatable framework that you can use. Just Positive says, what about LinkedIn? What about LinkedIn? LinkedIn is still good. Don't get me wrong. I'm just trying to figure out how I want to answer this. LinkedIn is still good. It's just, guys, there's so many platforms that I haven't been able to use them all. Let me see. I was doing some messaging on LinkedIn about maybe 3 to 6 months ago. So I would give LinkedIn about a 50-50, right? So for example, I was strategically trying to reach out to SBA reps and lenders on LinkedIn, and out of probably the 20 messages that I sent to SBA loan officers, about 3 or 4 responded back to me. That's not bad, right? That's not bad. So I would say, yes, LinkedIn still works. You can still get attention, but I probably send more messages or sent more messages on LinkedIn than I got response, right? As far as like my conversion rate. My conversion rates are a lot lower on LinkedIn. And I was sending out a lot of messages over the summer on LinkedIn because I was trying to test it out. And I also was trying to reach a different demographic. Not even, how can I say this? I was going after more professional services, individuals and companies, such as like VPs of top companies, for example, VPs of Fortune 500 companies. I was strategically reaching out to those type of folks on LinkedIn. All of the top VPs that I reached out to, 0 responses. All of the like SBA loan officers and more lower, I would say, or mid-level professionals, I would say I had about a 5% conversion rate. And then there were other professionals who I was reaching out to, no response, right? 0 response. So I would give LinkedIn probably a 50-50 chance. I would say it's good if you want to link with mid-level professionals, right? Like insurance brokers, loan officers. You would have about a 50% chance of getting a response back on LinkedIn. Yeah. Coffee and Pen says, the tax strategy I miss is what attracted me. Okay, the tax strategy I miss. Ooh. I like that. I think I'm going to try that one. The tax strategy I missed. Yeah. I really like that. And because people, if you think about it, people get hooked to FOMO, right? The fear of missing out. So I think that's actually a really good strategy. Prime Tax says, do you do paid ads for Instagram? Let me go back. Do you do paid ads for Instagram and Facebook? If yes, how much do you spend on it? Yes. So I do paid ads for Instagram and Facebook. And only because, I've been doing paid ads for TikTok too, by the way. That's another story. Because Facebook owns Instagram, when you go to Meta and you go to the business ads manager, it allows you to simultaneously run ads on your Facebook and your Instagram pages. So I do both. And what I found is that the cost to run ads have gone up dramatically over the past couple of years. Like I remember back in 2019, 2020, man, I was probably getting leads probably for like $1, $2 a lead. And I was acquiring a customer. They call it your CAC, CAC, the cost to acquire a customer. I was spending probably $15, $20 to acquire a customer. And I was selling, $1,000, $2,000 thing. Now I'm finding that I have to spend way more money now. You have to be at minimum about $60 per day. Now I'm gonna give you some context. When I spent $17,000 on Facebook ads 1 year, I think that was 2021. I spent $17,000 between like 21 and 22, I believe, years. Year 2021 and 2022. And I was spending about $15 per day. Now when I run ads, I have to spend at least $60 per day just to get some itty bitty traction. So I would say it is 10 times more expensive on Facebook and Instagram now. But they still work. You just have to have a bigger budget. So I would say unless you can afford $60 per day, $60 to $100 per day, minimum, you're not going to see a lot of results from your ad campaigns, unfortunately. Now, what I have been telling my clients is to diversify where they do advertising at. So, for example, I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to look at Reddit ads. I've tried Nextdoor ads. What else? So there's other platforms now that you can put money towards that can give you more of a ROI, but they also have a lot of eyeballs. I just started reaching out to certain Instagram pages. I'm actually going to try doing promo posts. I've never done it before. I've never paid, another Instagram page to do a promo post, but I do know that they work when you reach the right audience and when you have the right messaging. So I don't know if you guys remember Cece. She was a digital creator. She passed away a couple of years ago to cancer. I used to love watching Cece. She used to go live like 2 to 3 times a day. And she used to sell and teach, how to make money with ebooks. I think that was like her niche. And so she used to say that she would run promo ads on the Shade Room. So she said this is how she grew her page. I think she had like 300 something thousand followers. She was making $1 million selling, a $30 ebook, a $7 ebook. And she said that she would pay like $5,000 to the Shade Room to promote her offer. And she said, it was bittersweet because she said she would get like some negative feedback. The Shade Room, you got to be careful. It's going to be a segment of people that's just, they just going to talk trash about whoever you are. It's going to be some shade thrown on the Shade Room. But she said it was bittersweet because, yes, she got a lot of shade. It was, several backlash comments and things like that. But she said she got a lot of clients from the Shade Room by doing promoted posts on their page and on their website. So I just remember that always stuck with me, that she would strategically go to these other Instagram platforms and pay to be posted on their page or pay to be posted on their website. So I recently started reaching out, literally just the day ago, it was probably yesterday. I started reaching out to a bunch of business Instagram pages to see how much is it to do a promoted post, right? One of the pages got back to me and they said it's $1,000 to do a permanent post on their page, and they have 1 million followers. And I'll tell you what the page is. It's called the Black Millionaires page, right? So it was $1,000 for a permanent post, and I'm going to try it out. I mean, advertising, paid advertising is tricky in a way where you have to test the market. You have to test your advertising to see if it's going to get traction, if it's going to work, if you're going to have conversions, to figure out your return on investment. You have to test that. So if you're not willing to put $1,000 into a platform like this and willingly say if it work, it work, if it don't, it don't, it's going to be a lesson learned, then I would say you're not really ready to do paid ads yet. Paid ads is kind of like gambling. You have to be willing to lose all your money and get 0 clients before you actually do it. But this is why, if you are just coming in here and you didn't catch the beginning of the training that I did, this is why the DMs is going to help you earn money now, because it's what I call sweat equity. This is where you are physically going out and bringing home the bacon, right? You are physically reaching out to your ideal clients, nurturing the people that follow you, reaching out to potential partners. This is your sweat equity. You can get clients for free by just spending a few hours a day being strategic about your messaging and reaching out to your ideal clients. Once you master that, now you move into paid ads. Now you can throw $1,000 at a Black Millionaires page, or $5,000 to the Shade Room, or be more strategic about where your ideal clients' eyeballs are, right? Because we want to go where our ideal clients are viewing. What pages are they viewing, right? What influencers are they following? And then hit those pages up to see what their promo costs are, right? Now that's phase 2 of like amplifying your message after you think about ads. Let's see. Oh yeah, I love that song, Donna. Coffee and Pen said LinkedIn I feel is oversaturated. Yeah. I mean, it is definitely, and it is probably why you get less response rate. Now, I would say I've had a few people reach out to me, like code DM me on LinkedIn. Like I get code DM. You guys get code DMs all day on LinkedIn, right? So it kind of became oversaturated because you kind of get those same messages all the time, and you kind of just look at them and you bypass them. So I would say I do look at the majority of the messages that I get on LinkedIn. I see them. I just don't respond to them, you know? But there were at least 2 people that DM me on LinkedIn, and I actually responded, and I actually had a call with them because they came with value, you know? They were coming with, hey, Krista, here's what I can give you as far as value, and it would just happen to be something that I was looking for at the time. It was something that I was interested in at the time, right, that allowed me to get on the call. So all in all, if you're going to do the DM strategy, go back and rewind this video if you missed it. But you do want to lead with value to your ideal clients and ideal prospects or partnerships. Hey guys. Yes, the 6-figure chick, Shayna. Thank you, Shayna. Yes, it was a 6-figure chick. I love CC. Listen, I cried. When she passed away, I cried like I knew her. Like I was done for like the whole day. When I saw that she passed away, I was just like, I cannot believe it. Because I think she had just had her chemotherapy. She had just been like cancer free. Like they had got all the chemotherapy. And it was like a few months later, she was gone. I'm like, man, you know, just life is so precious. And she was such a value to so many people. You know, she was one of the OGs of like how to make $1 million, you know, with ebook, with going live. And, you know, like I just loved her. Prime Tax says, I've done some for a finance company I owned, and it does work. I would spend $50 per post. You know what? That's good. Yeah. $50 per post. That's good. Yeah, she was. She was a pioneer in a digital marketing space. Yeah, so you guys remember her. Yeah. All right, what other questions do you guys have? I know it's kind of late on the East Coast. It's only 6:44 on the West Coast. But any other questions, guys? Any other marketing strategies? Now, I would say, all right, so we have to talk about AI. I mean, we just got to talk about this real quick. So they say, and when I say they, Elon Musk said this like several weeks ago. He said 90% of the content that we watch on social media would be AI generated. Did you guys know that? Almost 100% of the content in a few years is going to be AI generated. How do you guys feel about that? Almost 100% of the content that we watch is going to be AI generated. First of all, I started to get off social media when I started to see all these AI videos, and it was kind of like ridiculous things, right? I saw a dang on AI video, and it was an old lady at the chiropractor office, and the guy was using a machine to adjust her back and like snapped her back in half. It was so stupid. And I'm like, if this is the type of content that we're going to see now, I saw podcast influencers, beautiful AI women. I'm like, dang, she is beautiful. And then you look, and it's an AI podcaster, right? You look, and it's an AI model. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm up here trying to figure out what homegirl's makeup routine is, and she's AI. 90%, 100% of our content will be AI. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to watch a bunch of AI models, a bunch of AI podcasters, a bunch of AI ridiculous content. I don't want to watch that. I don't want that to be a full of my timeline. Like that gets rid of the impetus of social media. of being a part of other people's lives. If it's all fake, ain't nobody, in my opinion, I'm not gonna want to be on social media like that. So, what I think, and this is just me speculating, okay? I think that live content is going to be more popular. And that's going to be the only way, at least until they catch up with that. I think that's going to be the only way that we're going to know that something was real. Is if you actually physically went live and you did this and no filters was was on your face, you know. I think this is the first time I went live without a filter. This is the first time, no filter, that I went live. You just saw my face. Because I'm like, I want y'all to know this is me, okay? I'm not AI. So I posted a video on YouTube, and somebody was like, oh, is this AI? I was like, what? No, I'm not AI. But yeah, so AI has gotten so out of pocket with content. And the fact that 90 to 100% of the content that we see online is going to be fake. What's the point? Like, what is the point of social media? What is the point of, get ready with me? What is the point of, what's that OOTD? What was that stand for? OOTD? What's the point of it if it's all going to be fake? I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Coffee and Pen says, I am targeting my ideal client but having a hard time creating my offer. Hey. You want to go live together? You want to talk about it? I haven't done that before. Can you go live? If you do, I'm happy to talk about it. As far as your offer.
I'm going live right now.
Hey,
Hey,
how are you?
I am amazing. How are you?
I'm doing good. So tell me about your niche. What niche are you going after?
So my niche is digital marketing, specifically the course creators, because
Okay.
that's what's big right now, right?
Yep. Yep. So what would you say their primary pain or problem or desire is?
So right now, honestly, their primary problem is that they have so much wrong information, they don't know what's right.
Mm.
So with that being said, on top of that, um, most of these people are like just a team of like 1 to 3. And the ones I've worked with so far, they seem to, they're just like a regular person. You know what I mean? Like they just accidentally fell into this.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm.
Yeah. So it's kind of crazy. Like I don't even know how to build the offer. Like I see what they're making. They're making 30 to 50,000 a month. But when it comes to like taxes, for instance, a couple of the ones I did taxes for 2024, one guy, he owed almost 150,000,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm.
he didn't reach out to me until beginning
So,
of 2025. So like there was very little I could do to help him.
yeah. Yeah.
But
So,
there's more of those.
yeah. So I would say one, I like to list out what all problems they have and what all questions. Like, what is your ideal client asking themselves right now? So, for example, they might be asking, what are the best tax deductions for coaches and creators? Um,
Right.
write off my clothing as a coach or creator. What are some tax strategies um, for creators? What's another one? A lot of creators have multiple sources of income, right? They have sponsorships, they have brand deals, they have paid, posts that they might do. They have an ad campaign. So you can do content around, what all sources of revenue they have, how is it taxable, and how they can structure their taxes, for example. So once you
Right.
understand like their psychology, like what are they constantly talking about, questioning, now we can offer a very specific package for them. And honestly, I would make this really simple. I would just offer them a complimentary uh tax plan for a creator, um, whatever that problem that they're trying to solve for,
Right.
like analysis. So if they want to what's one thing that creators are doing? They typically have multiple entities too. They might have multiple
Yeah.
different. So
Right.
I
And I've been creating well, not for all of them, but like the ones that come to me, I make sure to create that so then that way it hopefully will break it up, right?
yeah, yeah. So just creating a coaches and creators complementary tax plan analysis, I think would be a great way get a lot of these folks on the line. This is what I'm doing, by the way. So I offer a complimentary CFO and plan report. I use that report to close the client on a full offer. So I'm either going to charge them one off for a tax plan between $5,000 and $8,000, or I'm going to charge them for a monthly CFO and tax planning services at $2,500 per month. And then I let them choose which package is more suitable for them for where they're at in their business. Most of my clients have been choosing a $2,500 per month package. And what that's allowed is to get in there, not only do the tax planning, right? Because there's still strategies that they can take advantage of for 2025. For
Right.
example, it's IRA, right? They have until the filing deadline, including extensions, to fund their SEP IRA for 2025 and get a deduction for it. So I'm letting them know what their last minute strategies are in this complementary analysis. And then I'm letting them know based on what they did file in 2024, what was some tax strategies that they could have taken advantage of. So, for example, like your guy, he owed over 150,000. Where your complimentary analysis, you tell him, hey, if you would have invested in a solo 401k or a SEP IRA, if you would have invested in an HSA, you start listing up all the things he should have done, and that is what you to sell him on a paid tax plan. Does that make sense?
Right.
Like how you structure that. So I would say just simply telling them and putting coaches and creators complimentary tax plan. That honestly is the hook. And you guys, whoever's
Okay.
watching, whatever your niche is, just replace. And I'm sorry, what's your name?
Tina.
Gina.
Tina with a T.
Oh, hey Tina.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, so just replace coaches and creators with whatever you guys' niche is with complementary tax plan analysis. That's the offer, and you can pretty much plug and play any other services from a complementary.
Mhm.
Like when they hire me for CFO and tax planning, I'm also doing their tax resolution because they owe taxes.
Right. Right.
Also
Right.
doing their preparation. Most of my clients that come on, they also need me to do their bookkeeping. So what I find is when I go after the tax planning component, I'm picking up all the other business too. I'm picking up
Right.
the prep, the bookkeeping, the tax resolution, because they're like, oh no, Tina's my go-to gal because she knows she's very knowledgeable, right? She knows the tax code. So Tina, can you
Right.
also do bookkeeping too? Can you also do my tax prep too?
And do you include that in your 2,500 or in the offer?
Not the bookkeeping, but I do include the tax prep and the tax resolution. Typically, it's just getting them on a payment arrangement, maybe abating some penalties. Bookkeeping, unless the client is really small, it's
Mhm.
that separate charge.
Okay. Yeah. That's how I usually do it too. That's where I started was as a bookkeeper and then as a tax preparer. I've been doing this for like 25 years. So like I went tax preparer, then bookkeeper, and then now I'm just a fractional CFO and I try to outsource as
Mhm.
much as I can.
Yes, yes, I love that. I love that. And I think you're in a perfect niche. So I would say start DMing them and send a voice note instead of writing
Okay.
Say, hey Tina, I love your content. I saw that you just launched and you guys made $51,000 for your new coaching offer. Listen, I help seven-figure coaches and creators save on average $100,000. I would love to give you a complimentary analysis so I can show you how much you could have saved if you would have had tax strategy. Are you
Hmm.
interested?
Okay.
Or click here to book a call, right? If you send a voice note, I think it hits even better. Step up, Tina. If you send a video to say, hey, Tina, I love your content. I saw that you just launched your new mastermind. You made $51,000. Listen, congratulations. I would love to offer you a complimentary tax plan analysis. I specialize in helping coaches and creators save on average $150,000. I would love to have a coffee chat. Are you available next Tuesday at noon or 3 p.m.?
So give them the options to give them the dates and times that you're available as well. So then that way they can come back with it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can do that. That's that wasn't sure which way to go with that.
Yes. But you see how you just say, hey, I specialize in coaches and creators. I can help you save
Hmm.
50K. Let's
Yep.
let's have a quick coffee chat. I would love to provide you a complimentary analysis. That's the offer. That's the hook.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect. I appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am. It was good talking to you. Good
Good
seeing you.
talking to you.
All right. Well, that was fun. Let's see what you guys were saying. Uh, Shayna says your AI 10 can help you get more content out. True, Shayna. Your AI twin can help you get more content out. Um, I'm just trying to think at what point does it. So either two things are going to happen. Either people are going to revolt against AI and they're going to be like, I want to see real people on my timeline. I don't want to see AI generated content. Or we're going to get so used to seeing AI content that we're not going to care. I don't know the future and I don't know like which way it's going to go. I'm kind of like you. Yes, I use AI in a lot of my business, right? I use a lot of AI tools to help me just create and move faster. But when it comes to content specifically, I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence about using content to replace me, my AI twin, because I know what I think, and I would prefer to see the real person. That's just me personally. I would prefer to see the real person going live or the real person posting content. But I do get it. I do get it. It definitely can be helpful. Yes. So just positive says people would get tired of AI and then they will seek authenticity. Yes. Oh, thank you, Donna. Outfit of the day. I couldn't figure out what OOTD stood for, but I see those all the time. OOTD. Shayna says it will miss out on the personal connection that people are seeing. Yes. Misha says, did you say you use AI photos for content? Um, not of myself. No AI photos, not of myself, but I have used AI to create. For example, I use Gemini or ChatGPT to create my thumbnails for YouTube. I have used it for that. I've used Gemini to create some ads, some Facebook and Instagram ads. I have used it for that. So I've used AI photo content to create ad campaigns and to create thumbnails. I use them for my courses. So on my courses, I have little course cards, the thumbnails for each of the course. I'll use Gemini to create the AI course card. So I would say that's the most that I've used with regards to like photos and pictures so far. Yay. Tina says she's in my certified group as well. Awesome. Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, so every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I meet with my tax and accounting group. It's $40 a month. You can cancel anytime, but it comes with weekly coaching calls with me on Zoom, and you get monthly CE classes, continuing education classes. So these groups are really good because even if you don't have a tax and accounting question, you can come on and you can be a fly on a wall and listen to other people's tax and accounting question, right? Whether they're talking about tax resolution, people are talking about tax planning, we talk about marketing strategies. So it's good to kind of be a fly on a wall in that way and kind of pick up some stuff and meet some people, right? Meet some colleagues.